Hey, John, this is fabulous. This just came out just really. You were listening. I just want to back off a little bit so we can get the whole spread in the page. Yeah, really long spread. It looks like we got, well, not really. Well, you got two 8.5, so that's basically what we have. 8.5 by 5.5, A5 or whatever, A5. That's awesome. That's really a good, nice page. That's good page mechanics. My only issue throughout the project, and I did describe this a couple of times, but your gutters are just, I mean, they're probably, geez, they're almost an inch and a half wide. And that's just enormous for gutters. And we find that this one's even more. I mean, this one is going from, boy, that's an inch and a half. I mean, and then so that's I think is an issue. I really do. I think it's an issue, and I think that the way that you've got your page set up, it's fine. You've really adhered to the grid. As you can see, I'm dropping this little my cursor, using it as a marker, and going through pages and seeing that your margins are all set up really, really beautifully. Um, Even if we take a look at that center margin at 8.5, oh God, whatever happened now? I'm sorry, never mind. Let me just do this. Adobe is just not what it used to be. I find it all over in InDesign. I'm sorry, in Acrobat, where it's just not a lot. It just doesn't let you draw guides in. It's so weird. Anyways, so fabulous, fabulous. Just look at that center line and look at the symmetry. And so we follow that center line, and we'll come up and we'll take a look at each one of these pages. It's just really super harmonious. I love it. I love the work I do. The one thing I would change is the page numbers. The folio. They're number one, they're enormous. Number two, you're kind of in competition with the posters with that typeface there. I would use the same typeface for the headlines as for the folios, the page numbers. There's some areas where your rags are really, really difficult. This is a tough page. These rags are really, really definitely need to be adjusted here, as opposed to this page, which they're a little bit better, but you're still getting some patterns. So, I would definitely not underestimate the importance of rags. I really wouldn't. It's so important to the appearance of a. This is not bad right here. This whole column here is pretty good, but here we have these patterns. This column here is pretty good too. So keep that in mind. So gutters and rags are really about the only thing. The only other thing I noticed is it looks like you didn't shoot your work. It looks like you didn't. Yeah, we've got the InDesign file and we've got the PDF. So that, unfortunately, that's part of the grade. So that's going to be an issue. The fact that the book was never mocked up and assembled and photographed. So other than that, I think you've done great. Good job. Good job in the class. I would not put that in a box. I would just use the type right on the orange background. All right. Other than that, looked great. Good job. Appreciate it. I thought you did a good job in the class. I know that you were inactive in a lot of different areas, and but I mean, as far as the design work goes, you're right in there. So good job. Any questions or comments, or if you need me in the future for any assistance whatsoever, please don't hesitate to contact me. I hope I see you again in another class. Okay. Thanks, John.